I'm Christy. Today I want to talk about finding more reasons to take advantage of an ABLE account. As I mentioned last week, I want to specifically focus on the pros or advantages of opening an ABLE account for your loved one this week. You can find a link to last week's post over on the blog. That's at www.havenofhopeforme.com. This originally posted in July of 2022. As I started researching, I realized that I've already covered many of the advantages that come quickly to mind. So I did a bit more digging. As I mentioned in past weeks, there are some advantages that do come quickly to mind. Protection against losing government benefits or assistance. Ability to save towards bigger purchases. Tax benefits. The ability to receive gifts and earn income in ways comparable to other family members. And did I mention not jeopardizing government benefits? As I dug deeper this week, though, I discovered a number of other benefits of ABLE accounts. The Begley Law Group has a blog post that lists the advantages of ABLE accounts. Quote, low-cost setup. The other advantage is that there is little or no cost in establishing these accounts. Non-countable resource. Assets in the ABLE account are not counted for SSI eligibility purposes, so long as the total account size does not exceed $100,000, and for Medicaid purposes until the account exceeds the state maximum for 529 plans. And tax-free income. The investment income earned on ABLE accounts is not taxed so long as it is distributed for the individual's qualified expenses related to the disability, such as health, education, housing, transportation, training, assistive technology, personal support, related activities, and expenses. The benefit is likely to be minimal since the income earned on a relatively small account would be small, end quote. Experian also has a list of advantages, and again, you can find the link to all of these articles over on the blog. Quote, up to $100,000 is excluded from the beneficiary's assets. Certain public benefits programs, such as SSI, food stamps, and Medicaid, require a means or resources test. You might not qualify if you have over $2,000 in savings, retirement funds, or assets. However, up to $100,000 in an ABLE account doesn't count towards this limit. Potentially higher asset exclusions for state benefits. Some states may exclude may exclude a larger amount than $100,000 if it's in an ABLE account when determining eligibility for means-tested programs. Contributions count towards the saver's credit. The beneficiary may be eligible for the federal saver's credit, which can reduce how much they owe in federal income taxes. Tax-free withdrawals for qualified expenses. Distributed earnings from an ABLE account that are used for qualified expenses aren't subject to income taxes. And distributions don't count as income. Regardless of whether you use the money for qualified expenses, ABLE account distributions might not count as the beneficiary's income, end quote. Special Needs Answers has a blog post about the pros and cons as well. Again, you can find a link over on my blog. They list the pros as follows. A person with disabilities can set up his own account with his own money instead of relying on a parent, grandparent, or court to establish a first-party special needs trust for him. A person with disabilities can manage the funds in her own ABLE account, making the person less reliant on others for assistance and making it easier to access funds. Funds in ABLE accounts grow tax-free and are not subject to gift tax restrictions. And ABLE accounts are theoretically easy to set up with a local financial institution, end quote. And finally, TurboTax offers this article that makes a connection between ABLE accounts and 529 college savings plans. Again, you can find a link over on the blog. Quote, Congress authorized ABLE accounts in the Achieving a Better Life Experience Act of 2014. Supporters of the law pointed out that the U.S. tax code provided significant tax benefits to parents who save money for their children's college education in 529 plans, which are named for the section of the tax code that describes them. But parents of people with disabilities had no similar way to save for their children's future needs, such as occupational therapy or assisted living. Further, families that did try to save money for such things often ended up costing their children access to government assistance. The ABLE Act amended Section 529 in an effort to correct this, end quote. While this has nothing specifically to do with opening accounts, I thought that it was interesting that people have made the connection. And it's nice to discover that some people are understanding and realizing that raising a child and caring for an adult with special needs is expensive and can quickly cost more than a family can afford without jeopardizing the family lifestyle. So here are a few things that jumped out at me as I looked at other websites this week. At least one of the accounts, and possibly all of them, I'm not sure, allow you to invest the money. Now, one website specifically mentioned that you can only change money investment locations up to twice a year. However, this is an improvement over my previous thought that this was more of a savings account alone. I definitely need to do some more research on this aspect of them. Unfortunately, I didn't take note of the specific website I was on when I read that comment. Sorry about that. The Able National Resource Center has this page with a map, and I've got a link on the blog, with every state that offers Able accounts. It's the easiest way to find available options. Now, I haven't dug into it, but I will be in the near future. This post has probably been a bit more disjointed and less my synthesis of things. However, I also think that hearing things from the horse's mouth is much better in this particular case. I also say that this is absolutely an area where I believe you must do your own research and make your own informed decision. While it's not something that can't be undone if you later decide it's not the right choice, there may still be a lot riding on this decision that you make. Yes, I believe it is a good option to consider. Yes, I also know it is not the only option out there to protect and provide for our loved ones with special needs. So please do your own research. Talk to those who know more about options than I do, and then make the best informed decision you can for your family and for your loved one with special needs. My question for you this week is this: have you done any research on Able accounts? Do you think that they're a good option? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave me a comment below, or you can leave me a comment over on the blog. That's at www.havenofhopeforme.com. This originally posted in July of 2022. If you prefer, you can also email me at Christy, CHRISTY, at havenofhopeforme.com. I'm wading through all of my research and figuring out the best option for us so that I can continue to say that life is good and there is never a dull moment.